Here's our hitter upgrade predictions for the roster update coming out on September 9th. Didn't do a show last week, didn't even stay up for the update, and didn't miss much, huh? It was a pretty light update. I kind of understood where they were coming from, though, because even though I didn't get to do an upgrade show, I did look and do some cursory research to see who I would have put in the show if I was able to do one, or at least put some stuff out on Twitter, because I had some stuff I was taking care of last week. And I didn't really find a whole lot of upgrades. I couldn't find guys that I was like, oh, this guy has to get it, except for the guys that I'd already seen the week or two before. I wasn't seeing a whole bunch of new guys. But I think we do have some really good candidates now that I hope they come out with a nice robust update, because we haven't had one in a while, right? The last good update that we had was the one that came right before Madden, and that was with the cards that they released. We haven't had like a huge roster update in a while, and I think this presents an opportunity to do so. So let's go ahead and dive right into it with the hitters. And we'll start with Randal Grichuk for the Cardinals. Now, he was downgraded on June 24th, and I believe sent down somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly his timeline for being sent down, but this was a guy who fantasy people, we were thinking, oh god, this guy's gonna be a 30-homer monster. It's gonna be great. I was certainly drafting him with some expectations, along with teammates Piscotty and Colton Wong. Well, only one of the three really did anything. Grichuk's trying to make up for lost time, though. Since getting that downgrade, he's at 270 average, 297 on base, and a 638 slug. The 270 average isn't bad for him. The 297 OBP is god-awful for anybody. You never want to be below 300. But the 638 slug is incredible. That's with 14 homers. Again, that's since June 24th. If you pace that out over a full season, that's about 51 homers is what you would get there. So that's really impressive, of course. So let's go ahead and dive in on these upgrades. We're going to go 5 on the contact versus lefties. He's got a 343 average and 24% strikeout rate since the downgrade. So the average is great. Strikeout rate is okay for what he does. At times he can be a 30+% swing and miss sort of guy. So to be at 24%, that's actually not too bad. To that point, I got to go -3 against righties, because he's only got a 261 average and a 36% strikeout rate against righties since that downgrade. But he'll make it all up in power. Don't worry. I got this shooting all the way, power versus lefties, I got that shooting all the way up to 77 on a +15, because he has a 457 ISO and 4 homers. Now, he doesn't have a ton of plate appearances against lefties, but he's absolutely mangling them when he does get them. And he has a 235 career ISO against them. So he's always hit for power against lefties, except for the very early part of this year. And it was really kind of weird, because he's a right-hander. He's bashed lefties in the past, and this year he got off to a slow start. But again, making up for lost time. 10 points here as well, power versus righties. This is where the damage is really coming through. Told you the contact isn't huge, not having a great batting average, and he is having some swing and miss issues, but that's because he's probably selling out for the power. He's got a 336 ISO and 10 homers since the downgrade, and a 266 ISO against, 262 ISO against righties for his career. So I got pretty much both of his power sides matching there at 76, 77. And I think that's going to suit him well. I don't know if it's going to get him to silver, but let's see. He's at 73 right now. Grichuk's going to be... Where'd he go? I missed him. No, I don't know how to read. Yo, Randall, where'd you go? Oh, 76. I just didn't go down far enough. So he's still bronze, still, going to be a tournament stud in tournaments that use roster restrictions that have to include bronzes. I use them all the time. I actually have amazing numbers with Randal Grichuk across all divisions too. Well, not World Series. I'm not in the World Series, but I've used him not only a couple games in CS, but tons in DS and before, and just absolutely raked with this card. Use him in BR anytime I can. So he'll be at 76, not quite a silver, but if he keeps raking, I think he can get there. Next up is a rookie who's absolutely dominating the landscape right now out in Colorado, David Dahl. He hasn't even been around that long and already has gotten an upgrade. He got upgraded on August 19th. Since then, 302, 353, 444 with 2 homers and 5 stolen bases. We're going to go plus 5s on both contacts right now. He has a 321 average against lefties, 317 against righties. Put 6 on his power against righties though. 220 ISO, 15 extra base hits out of his 39 hits against righties. Killing it. Power against lefties, going to stay flat. He's not hitting for much power against them. Lefty-lefty matchup has proven a little bit tough for him to generate the power, but he does have really good contact. I think we're going to get big upgrades here on his base stealing ability. I'm surprised he's so low to begin with, so I'm going to put plus 20s on him. Which isn't, great, but he's a good base stealer. He's 5 for 5 as a major leaguer, all since his upgrade, by the way. And he was 74 for 100 as a minor leaguer, 74%. 72% is average, or not even average. 72% is like the cutoff that you need to be mathematically successful in terms of the risk of what you're putting to get an out versus what you're gaining when you're safe. So he's above that. That's as a minor leaguer. And again, 5 for 5 so far as a major leaguer. So I think his speed at 74 is fine, but we got to get those stealing numbers up. He's at 75. I don't know if this is enough to get him there, but it is 78. Let's go. David Dahl. They brought in Bregman as and Gurriel as silvers. I think they can get Dave Dahl up there. I don't have any issue with that. Let's go back to St. Louis. Talk about the jerk store because they're running out of them. Oh yeah. He was upgraded recently, July 29th. Since then, 227, 296, 531. So obviously the 227 and 296 are terrible, but the 531 is obscene, especially when you consider the 227. So he's just raking the ball lately. So we're actually going to up his contact a little bit against lefties, even though he only has that 227 average overall. We'll go 3 points. Because he has a 250 average on the season with a 17% strikeout rate. 250 average with a 17% strikeout rate since his upgrade. So he's still making good contact against lefties since that upgrade. It's just not translating into numbers right now. But his power against lefties, that's where we're going to get a big upgrade. 67. He has a 313 ISO and 3 homers again since his upgrade. He lost 7 power points against lefties in his last upgrade. So we're gonna get some of that back and then some. His power against righties gonna go up 8 points to 79. He's got a 302 ISO, 9 homers since his upgrade, a career high 21 homers against righties on the season. So just a power guy. Defense is bad, I think. Let me see what is his fielding. Yeah. 68, 62 on the fielding and reactions. That's not great. So this card is a tough use overall. Like I have a hard time really using it outside of Battle Royale, but it will be a silver. There will be some punch. I know some folks that really like having power at second base, and they'll trade that fielding just to have the potential to go yard, and that's certainly what Jerko offers. So he's a 79 now, and that's interesting. That's absolutely interesting to me. It's like the middle infield show because we got several others coming up. Starting with is Drupal Cabrera. We were talking earlier in the Twitch chat about chances of a New York team making the playoffs. Obviously, Mets are first and foremost there right now because they're in a playoff spot, and the pitchers are getting hurt, and Jay Bruce didn't get off to a very good start with the team at all. And the reason that they're still in it is he's a big part of it. Asdrubal Cabrera is absolutely a huge part of it. Last 28 days, 400, 431, 783 with 6 homers. That's monstrous. So I'm gonna go ham here. We're gonna go up to 75, so plus 14 on the contact versus left. He's got a 314 average and a 17% K rate against lefties all year. Those are great numbers. 345 average and 13% strikeout rate in the second half. So he's really taken off against lefties. I'm going to give him plus 6 on the punch, too. It's not great, 143 ISO all year, but 241 in the second half. I can't just go off the second half and jump him into the 60s. He's still going to be below average, but an upgrade nonetheless. Against righties, he's going to go up 8 points to 63 on the power and 3 points to 61 on the contact. So he's got a 5-year best OPS against righties this year at 776. He's got a 201 ISO, which is 50 points above his career mark. So Asdrubal Cabrera is doing some good stuff. I think that's going to be enough to get him to silver. Let's see. Boom, 79 as well. Feel more confident in him getting to 79 than I do Jerk Store. If I'm being honest, I was kind of surprised that Jerk Store, Jed Jerko, for those that don't know, went up that much. So maybe I was a little aggressive on the power versus lefties. But I do feel confident that Cabrera can jump all the way up to 69. Oh God, I'm so creeped out. I got my TV on MLB Network right now, and I don't know if you guys remember those Midgies, those little bugs that got Jabba Chamberlain. They're actually showing it right now. Well, they're back, and one got in Carlos Carrasco's eye, and that just creeps me out so badly, like a bug just going and camping out on your eye. Ugh. And Jabba tweeted him. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Or he tweeted Jabba first. He sent a picture with all the bugs on his face and said, "I feel you, bro." And Jabba's like, "We just connected on a whole nother level." That's kind of hilarious. All right, back to the upgrades. Sorry. Especially for those of you watching on YouTube, you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. All right, Trey Turner. We gave him an upgrade. He appeared on a show recently. I can't remember which. Maybe the last one we did. So 2 weeks ago. And he's recently got an upgrade too, August 5th. But he's due for another one. He's already due for another one. Since that August 5th upgrade, 364 average, 372 on base, 568 slug with 5 homers and 13 stolen bases. I think the biggest thing about Trey Turner is in the same mold of like a Francisco Lindor and Tyler Naquin, who happen to be teammates, interestingly enough, is that the power that he's shown at the major league level is just so much better than we really saw based on his minor league track record. And it's really interesting to see him kind of explode for power. Let's focus on his contact first. I'm gonna go 5s on both. He's got a 326 average against lefties, 350 against righties, killing it, absolutely killing it. Now power against righties is where I'm really gonna give him an upgrade. It's gonna go up to 58, guys. He's got 10 doubles, 5 triples, 6 homers, 233 ISO, all against righties. He's crushing it. Now there's no punch at all against lefties, so we're leaving that as is. But 80-58 speedster at shortstop, I'm using that. I'm using that all day. I'm especially using it in Battle Royale. I'm also using it for like a silver-studded team. If I didn't have Jimmy Rollins on the stream team, prime Jimmy Rollins, which I'm awesome with, I love that card, I'd probably consider Trey Turner. Maybe I'll put him in the outfield just to see what's what with this card if it gets an upgrade. I also think a little bit of clutch upgrade. I know it's not like their primary focus is to make sure that these clutches are up. But he's got a 321, 322, 554. That's weird that he has 1 point difference in on-base and batting average. That's what I put. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 321, 321. Either way, he's hitting 321 with his average, and he has a 554 slug with runners in scoring position. That's worth at least a 57. Let's go. Is it good enough to give him the gold? I think it might be, guys. Trey Turner, gold. Let's go. See if he gets it. But he's been a catalyst. Similar to Asdrubal Cabrera. Now, they're not, the Nats aren't facing the same issues that the Mets were with like injuries and stuff, but they continue to just play very well. Harper has not been amazing. Strasburg was on the DL and actually came back, pitched tonight, got hurt again before he finished his start. And yet, they continue to just expand their lead. He's a huge, huge part of it. Trey Turner's awesome. All right, we still have... our last 3 guys are all middle infielders. Like, it's the middle infield show. I didn't even realize. Let's go with Rugi here. He got upgraded all the way back on May 12th, so it's been a while. And since then, he's got a 279 average, 297 on base, 519 slug with 23 homers. He's currently on a 7-game hitting streak. 6 of those are multi-hit games. A small sample. I'm just pointing out that he's on fire again right now. Power versus right, we're going to go all the way up to 77. 256 ISO, that's 28th in the league, 5th at second base. And he's got 23 homers against righties this year. His contact against righties will go up 3 points. He's got a 285 average. Contact versus lefties going up 5 points to 69. Nice. He has a 281 average against them, which is really good lefty-lefty. And then his power against lefties is going to go up 10 points to 64. He's got a 192 ISO against lefties this year, and it was 195 last year. This guy does not struggle to hit lefties, which is really impressive as a left-hander. He's got the platoon split kind of in check. Like, he doesn't do his best work against lefties, but if you can be even above average as a lefty against lefties, that's such a huge asset. He's already a gold, but he's going to be a better gold. He's actually going to be their best player if he gets this kind of upgrade. Wow. I can see it. I really don't have a problem with that. If I'm betting, I think they probably get him closer to 87, so maybe you got to chop in half everything I just did here and give him 2 points instead of 4. But I'm very confident that he deserves a healthy upgrade. Even 2 points would be nice, but I think this is viable. That would be pretty dang good. Too bad his defense stinks. I don't know if his defense stinks in real life. I'll investigate that more. I didn't look into it this time. Apologize for that. All right, you guys knew this one was coming. You guys are just waiting. I'm not reading the Twitch chat, but I'm sure they're like, "Where's Brian freaking Dozier?" That's how you guys sound when you're whining about Dozier. Of course he's on here. We go from the lower rated guys to the higher rated guys. So he's already at 86. You want to talk about a savage right now? There's no one more savage. Macho Man Randy Savage. They ain't got nothing on Dozier right now. R.I.P. Unbelievable. He was upgraded just on August 12th. Since then, 346, 398, 865. What? Guys, an 865 OPS in the last month would be good. He's got an 865 slug with 16 homers and 113 plate appearances. That's utterly insane. Second half against right-handers, he's 333, 386, 789 with 21 homers. Let me tell you what that time period was. That's the second half. He has 21 homers against right-handers in the second half. That's insane. Insane. I'm giving him a massive upgrade. Here's what I'm thinking, too. Maybe I'm crazy on this one. We're getting late in the year. Let's get a little bit froggy. I'm not saying be stupid and just do upgrades for people based on 10 games, but maybe juice it a little extra, just like a little extra. If they're gonna do one level, normally when they're kind of in the throes of baseball season and you're being conservative or whatever, if you're gonna do that, maybe do plus 15% now or plus 20%. Just gas it up a little bit. Make these cards better for the long winter. Something to keep us warm. A 90 Brian Dozier can keep us warm over the stupid winter. So here's what I'm doing. By the way, it's got a 300 average against righties since mid-May. So I'm bumping this up 21 points to a very nice 69. I'm bumping his power against righties up 20 points as well to an 88. Power against lefties. Contact against lefties already staying there, 82. Power against lefties, 89. Are you kidding me? Look at this card. He's improved his strikeout percentage to a career best 18%. So I'm going to throw him a few points here. It's just been unbelievable. So I gas it up a little bit extra. Maybe they don't go quite as high, but I think they should. Because it would be awesome to see a 9. Okay, that makes him diamond. Maybe I went too high. He's been amazing. He's been amazing. I'm not sure we can get a diamond from we can get a Dozier going from 86 to 94. Maybe I got to tamp it down a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna back off a little bit. I'm gonna give back 8 of those points in 4 of these. I'm keeping the contact because that needs to go way up. This is since May now. This is or since mid-May. So he's really improved his approach against righties, to the point where he's making a lot more solid contact. Let's see what that does. That's a 92. Okay, that's a little bit more reasonable. And then what they can kind of do is say, we're going to put him up at a 91, 92, and if he continues to savage the league for the last, month here, he can end the season as a diamond. Because that'd be, the run he's on right now is just utterly insane. We saw what it did for, a Votto last year and this year, by the way. We see what these huge runs can do. 86 to 94, that's probably too much. That's why I wanted to back it off. But I'm going to stand by 86 to 92. What this guy's doing is historical. So I can't quite commit to diamond, but I'm gonna stand firm behind the 92. Why are they showing the midgie in his face again? You just showed that highlight. It has not been an hour. All right, last one. Another second baseman. Certainly not as exciting of an upgrade as that Dozier one. I'm pretty amped on that Dozier. I didn't know what it was gonna be. I was like, I wonder what this is gonna end up being. It's probably gonna be pretty high. It was 94. A little bit too much. All right, Pedroia, 87 right now. Contact versus right, 88. 10 points. 328 average and a 10% strikeout rate against righties. It's killing him. 10%. He's making so much contact. Power against righties, 5 points. He's got 10 homers and a 136 ISO. That's actually a 4-year high. 136 ISO is not very good, but it's 4-year high. I gotta bump this down actually though too. I gotta take that down because he has a .097 ISO and just 2 homers against lefties. So he's really a contact guy, kind of DJ LeMahieu-ish, but that's all right. So the power's down here. Oh, is that Yulieski Gurriel's first homer? He crushed that. We'll see what that does. Might leave him static. Okay, gives him 2 points. To an 89. All right. DJ LeMahieu, Corey Seager, Joey Votto, those are recent guys that I still think have been doing enough to merit an upgrade. So you can look at previous videos to see what I gave them for an upgrade if you're interested in them. So let's review the middle infield edition here. We started with 2 outfielders and then went straight middle infielders. We went Randall Grichuk from 73 to 76. David Dahl from 75 to 78. Jed Jerko, 75 to 79. Asdrubal Cabrera, 76 to 79. Trey Turner, 81 to 86. New gold. By the way, Cabrera, new silver. Jerko, new silver. Dahl, new silver. Sorry about that. Rougned Odor, 85 to 89. Brian Dozier, 86 to 92. Some sneak diamond potential, but I can't quite go that high. And then Dustin Pedroia, 87 to 89. So there's the hitters. We'll see how they go tomorrow. Be sure to come by Twitch, twitch.tv/psport24 every Thursday night except for last week. We stay up for the update, so we'll be doing that again this week.